welcome back to Phenomena. This is episode 9. We are one away from the end of season 1. I'm your host, Mimi Dibbs. I recently got a new kitten, clearly, and she is bringing mayhem into our lives in the best way possible, in the way only a kitten can. You know, I'm Mimi Dibbs. I've done voiceover for Visa and Escape the Kitchen, which is a Try Guys show, if anyone's familiar with the Try Guys. I was also a guest, actually, on Eat the Menu, which is another Try Guys show. And that episode should be coming out, I think, sometime in March. So I'll keep you posted. Phenom-announcements! Yay! New portmanteau. Phenom-announcements. I wanted to take a quick moment to shout out a small business that I became aware of that I am absolutely obsessed with. Her name is at Lida Pavlova _magic on Instagram. And she sells a bunch of really cool stuff, namely like oracle cards and a bunch of other like witchy fun stuff. Specifically, what caught my eye is the Ominous Oracle deck, which is supposed to have some spooky stuff and also just marries like her art. And I think she collaborated with someone to flesh it out into a full Oracle deck. But yeah, I placed my order this week, so I'm super pumped. Can't wait to see it. I'll definitely show you guys some of the cards once I get it. But yeah, I figured that it fit the theme of Phenomena. So yeah, I wanted to shout her out. And I think we're going to start shouting out small businesses every episode because it is a little more uplifting than politics, obviously, especially after the absolutely embarrassing tantrum that Trump and his toddler Vance threw in front of Zelensky. So also them saying like, why don't you wear a suit when Elon Musk looked like he was the last kid to get picked up at a fucking baseball game? Like, okay, that's... Anyway, yeah, go support Lita because she's got a really fun business. Our scriptwriter is the lovely, say it with me, Ruben Hano. They are the head scriptwriter for Phenomena. They wrote the first couple of episodes until we started to get into the current kind of rotation that we're on. And they also proofread all of the scripts before they get to me, so I can cold read them confidently on the podcast / YouTube channel. So thank you so much for everything you do, Ruben. This episode for this week is about the Polybius conspiracy. I know everyone's been asking for it. Just kidding. I've been asking for it literally since we started Phenomena. I was like, first episode, Polybius? And I think we just all agreed like Polybius is like a big one to start with. It's got a lot of intricacies and a lot of, it's like a big conspiracy. Or there's just a lot of details. It feels like an end of season type of episode, you know what I mean? So I'm super pumped that we get to finally do it. I also just like a while ago, I tried to start a podcast with my best friend Maggie called Mythos, and that didn't really materialize, unfortunately. You know, wasn't enough fire under our asses. Nothing like a second Trump presidency to make you go after your dreams before it's too late, right? Capitalism. Anyway, I'm super pumped for this week's episode, clearly, because this is a topic that I do know a bit about, namely because I listened to a podcast called The Polybius Conspiracy on Spotify. I suggest you give it a listen if you're interested in learning more. But here, I'm sure we'll give you a very good overview of the Polybius Conspiracy. So, without further ado, let's get into Polybius, a game, a myth, a mystery. By Ruben Hano. Today, we're diving into the mystery of Polybius, one of the most infamous urban myths in video game history. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, this is about video games, so I feel like we're getting into like video game conspiracy and lore now. Heck yeah, dude. So let's leave the depressing worries of 2025 behind for a minute and pretend it's the 80s. Your hair is big, your jeans are high-waisted. Ooh, something that is still in fashion today. I will never go back to low-rise, ever. You can't convince me that it ever looked good. Britney Spears is the only one that could pull off low rise, and I'm not going to have a discussion about it. And your only source of gaming is the local arcade, which smells like cigarette smoke. Classic. So did like most airplanes and probably daycares or something. Old carpet, lead paint, and teenage ambition. Smells like teen spirit. Was that the 90s? Yeah. Anyway, now what if I told you that one of these arcades housed a game so mysterious, so mind-bending, that it allegedly left players questioning reality? Enter Polybius, a game so rare that no one can agree on what it looked like, how it was played, or if it even existed at all. Some say it was a part of a sinister government experiment. Yes, third episode in a row where the government is involved, because where there's a conspiracy, there is a government waiting in the wings. You already know. Others claim it was a paranormal portal disguised as a video game. And then there's the real possibility that it was just a giant nerd hoax from the dawn of the internet. So which is it? Let's find out. The lore. Picture it. Portland, Oregon, 1981. What a time to be alive. Olivia Newton-John's physical is blaring. Neon lights flicker, and the sound of quarters dropping into machines fills the air. Oh, I love this. Ruben, are you writing a book? Are you writing a book and you're just not telling me? Because this is masterful writing. You're really setting the scene here. You're painting a picture with your words. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga. Oh, I love Galaga. I like Dig Dug. That's one of my all-time favorites. Always will be. Dig Dug for life, man. I love Dig Dug. Galaga's pretty good, though. Those are your usual favorites. But tucked away in the corner, there's something different. A game you've never seen before. Polybius. The cabinet, which is apparently what you call an arcade machine, is sleek, unmarked, and just standing near it makes you feel weird. But hey, it's the 80s. Feeling weird is practical the default state of being, right? Hey. You drop a quarter in, and before you know it, you're seeing pulsating geometric patterns, hearing strange tones, and maybe, just maybe, getting subliminal messages telling you to obey. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. I'm so happy we're just finally doing Polybius. So from what I remember, when I deep dove into it a couple of years ago, it was an unmarked cabinet, or thank you, Ruben, for clarifying that that's what they used to call arcade machines. So it was just a black cabinet that it didn't even say Polybius on it or anything. I don't even know how people knew it was called Polybius. It might have just been word of mouth, and maybe we'll get into it in the script. But yeah, that's why it was very ominous, is because it was tucked in the corner. If you knew about it, you knew about it. It had this weird presence about it, ominous, but people were drawn to it. Ooh, telling you to obey that brand. Yeah. And also just subliminal messages. I don't know. It's so interesting because do you know when you're getting subliminal messages? Is it lucid dreaming where you're aware that it's happening? Or did they go to therapy later and was oh, that was subliminal messaging? I don't know. I wonder. Well, because subliminal, right, is in and of itself kind of supposed to hit your subconscious and not your conscious. So I don't know. Food for thought. The earliest mentions of Polybius that we could find surfaced online in the late 90s/early 2000s, hidden in obscure forums discussing lost or forgotten arcade games. Yes! I love lost and forgotten arcade games. This is the perfect level of spooky. Yes, sign me up. I want to go to a spooky arcade escape room. Does that exist? Stop. We have to go. Okay, I'm actually going to look for this now. They need to make this an escape room. What? We need to capitalize on this immediately. Oh my God. Idea. Hello. TM. I'm going to create it. If it's not out there, I'm creating it. Hidden in obscure forums discussing lost or forgotten arcade games. According to these posts, the game appeared briefly in a few Portland arcades. Of course, it's obviously this had to have taken place in Portland because come on. The whole logo for that city is keep Portland weird. So the fact that this is the birthplace of Polybius makes perfect sense. A few Portland arcades before vanishing without a trace 1 month after it arrived. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. It was only in the arcade. It was only in the arcade for a month, which is insane. So that's why it's we're really only hearing hearsay accounts of people who experienced it during that month, but swear it was definitely there. And the fact that multiple people agree that it was there. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just think that it's very strange that a bunch of people decided that oh yeah, I do remember that unmarked black box arcade game in the corner that made everyone feel weird. The supposed developer was a shadowy company called, oh my God, Sinislotion, which is German-ish, aka not real German wait, what? Which is German sounding, German coded for sensory deprivation or loss of senses. Ooh. That's so strange. And yeah, what I remember about this too is that it was those geometric patterns and I don't know how people knew how to play the game, to be honest. It's a mystery. Since no actual game has been proven to exist, most of the information out there comes from internet rumors, creepypastas, and speculation. Just like I said, it's all hearsay, but it's compelling hearsay, okay? Ruben does not agree, but let's find out. According to the myths, the visuals of the game were described as using bright neon vector style graphics. I mean, it's the 80s. You got to use neon. Neon vector style graphics similar to Tempest, or asteroids with pulsating shapes and swirling patterns designed to create a trance-like effect. Ooh, like sensory deprivation, like hypnosis. Ooh, yeah. Some say the game used binaural beats, frequencies designed to influence brain activity, dizziness, nausea, or headaches. And in more serious cases, psychological effects like paranoia and nightmares were reported. This is so interesting. People are using kind of scientific stuff. I mean, binaural beats are frequencies designed to influence brain activity. So I don't know. It's very interesting because if that is what it was, and then people went into a psychosis and then all dreamed of similar things happening to them. I don't know, man. Depending on how deep down the Reddit rabbit hole you go. Reddit rabbit hole. Say that 10 times really fast. Some users say people died or went missing, but few sources besides these one-off Reddit posts corroborate deaths or missing persons cases of the time. Oh, okay. So there weren't that many people saying people died. I don't think I knew if anyone died as a result, but definitely some weird stuff. Some weird, I don't know, just being very out of it and missing chunks of time and waking up in places that you don't remember and stuff like that. As for the gameplay, accounts vary. Some describe a mix of a shooter and maze game, while others recall abstract puzzles that require deep concentration. Okay, so Polybius was just different for every person that played. That's interesting. But I get, I could totally see, some people saying it's a shooter game. No, it's a maze game. No, it's actually a puzzle game. And it actually is an IQ test that the government is employing to see which one of us is good for testing. There are the rumors about subliminal messages, brief flashes of words like obey, conform. Maybe as a result of counterculture. I just added that in there. I like to speculate. We're allowed to speculate on this channel, okay? It's about phenomena. And sometimes more sinister things. In today's lingo, we would say the game told players to unalive themselves. Oh, whoa. Others reported shadowy figures described as men in black hovering around the machines and seemingly downloading data from the game cabinets. Yeah, remember that part. And people swear that the men in black were government operatives, because of course they did. And then, just like that, Polybius was gone. No evidence, no recovered cabinets, just an urban legend that refuses to die. And that's why it's so spooky and creepy and weird and kind of interesting. All right, the theories. Let's get into the theories. I'm wondering what Ruben uncovered during their research. Since we have no physical proof that Polybius existed, all we have are theories. Yeah, that's true, actually. There's no physical evidence that anyone can point to be at least for last week's episode for unfavorable semicircle, I'm sure we can dig up, or we were able to, dig up what those photos were from the videos that did the best on the channel. But with this, there obviously is no digital record of it. And if it was wiped and the whole cabinet was taken away, it's there goes the evidence. So all we have are theories, a lot of theories. Some are creepy, some are ridiculous, some are both. Let's dive into the top 3 theories we found. Nice, I like that consolidation. Number 1, the government psyop. Ooh, this one's my favorite one. One of the most I realized I really like government conspiracies because there's so many of them. It's so fascinating. One of the most persistent theories is that Polybius was part of a secret government experiment in mind control. Ooh, we're going back to Stargate here. Possibly linked to MKUltra and the real-life CIA program that tested psychological manipulation techniques. I was wondering if MKUltra is a phenomenon, but I guess it's not because it actually is something. It is a real-life CIA program that tested psychological manipulation techniques. Even the name Polybius comes from the ancient Greek historian who wrote extensively about political manipulation and the ways governments maintain power. Ooh, a little history lesson about the name Polybius. I didn't know this. This is interesting. According to this theory, the game was designed to test cognitive responses, addiction, and the effect of subliminal messaging on unsuspecting players. I could definitely see the addiction part because it's are there certain patterns or something that you show someone where they're addicted? I mean, there's something going on in Call of Duty that is getting all these early 30s men, looking at you, John, super addicted to playing video games. I mean, hey, maybe they learned something about Polybius. It's the addictive drug that they were able to infuse into Fortnite and Minecraft and Call of Duty and whatever else is out there that people play obsessively. The game could have also been an early attempt at using video games for psychological conditioning, possibly designed to create stress, anxiety, or compulsive behavior. Okay, wait, speaking of, that brings me right to Call of Duty, because during the pandemic, John and I had a much smaller space to share, and he would play video games and like nonstop. But like, it was always like, on me, 3 guys. Oh my God, 3 guys. Oh, they're shooting me. They're shooting me right now. They're shooting my back. They're shooting their load on my back. But like, it was just so like, go, 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 go. And I wasn't even playing the game, but I would be sitting on the couch and then I would just feel super tense and anxious the whole time. Like I was in fight or flight and it felt like I was the one running from being shot. It was terrible. I hated it. I was like, why do you play a game that literally you're just this the whole time? It's adrenaline, but like go skydiving or something if you want the adrenaline that bad. I don't know how you can just be in that state of mind. But yeah, the psychological conditioning of these government psyops experiments, possibly designed to create stress, anxiety, or compulsive behavior. For believers of this theory, the men in black we mentioned before are believed to have been government agents monitoring the experiment. If this was true, could a video game make someone a sleeper agent? And if so, can I blame my bad decisions on video games? No, you cannot. And I only say that because if I say yes, then I'm opening up an entire floodgate of John to just be like, what? I didn't do the dishes because video games. Oh, poor me. I was psychologically manipulated into playing this game for 9 hours. Oops. No. Theory number 2, the paranormal portal. Some theories suggest that Polybius could have been a gateway for paranormal forces. Oh, I haven't heard this theory. According to this idea, the strange visual effects and unsettling psychological side effects weren't simply the result of subliminal messages or advanced technology, but that they might have been caused by something far more mysterious. Perhaps the game was a conduit for otherworldly entities or even a curse meant to manipulate or harm those who played it. I've heard that it had to do with aliens, or that like some people that played it, there's a person who still lives in Portland, last I checked, according to the Polybius Conspiracy podcast, that like gives tours about like, this is the arcade where he first encountered Polybius. And then like there was one night where he was like abducted by aliens and taken to like this cave. And then basically like met this other boy there who like sacrificed his life so that the other boy could live. And like, it's got drama. It's got suspense. It's a good story. It's a good story. But yeah, I haven't heard this like potential paranormal side of it. Interesting. I guess, are aliens considered paranormal? I don't know. I always think paranormal is like ghosts, but you tell me. The disturbing experiences reported by players could be seen as signs that the game was opening a portal to a realm beyond our own, pulling players into a supernatural web. And then, as suddenly as it had appeared, Polybius vanished, leaving behind no trace, as though the forces tied to it had moved on or the curse had been completed. Whoa. So like the people that played it were pulled into this experiment or like other timeline. I could see it being an experiment or like an experiment conducted by supernatural entities to like learn more about humans. I don't know. That's a theory. It sure is. Theory number 3, the hoax hypothesis. And finally, many believe Polybius was never real and that it was, I wanted to be real so bad, and that it was simply an urban legend born from a mix of paranoia, misremembered history, and the eerie atmosphere of early arcades, which is why arcades would be a perfect escape room. I swear, someone go into business with me about this, please. Or tell me where I can go to one, because I need to go visit one ASAP. Like there needs to be a Polybius-y one. That'd be so fun. Oh my God. And then what if the cabinet opens up into another room? Come on. Oh my God, this could be so good. This could be so good. This is $1 million idea. I might have to patent it. As we said, the first known mention of the game appeared online in the late 90s/early 2000s, meaning no one talked about it when it supposedly existed. Convenient, right? Good point. The story of a mind-altering arcade game lines up suspiciously well with real-life reports of video game-related seizures in the early 80s. In Portland, the exact place Polybius supposedly existed, 2 gamers fell ill on the same day in 1981. One had a stomach issue after a 28-hour gaming marathon. Good God, girl, get a grip. Oh my God. See? John, this is why you shouldn't. I'm kidding. 28 hours is mind-boggling. That's like, wow. Good God, girl, get a grip is right. And the other got a migraine while playing Tempest. That's so anticlimactic. One of them almost died from a stomach issue after she did a 28-hour marathon, and the other played Tempest. Way to just like downgrade the second person. And none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye. Coincidentally, during this time, the FBI did raid some arcades for illegal gambling practices, which could also reference the men in black that were hovering around the arcades. Oh, interesting. Who was running the illegal gambling practices? The owners of the arcade? Was there like a backroom situation? And then all the like teens at the front just playing games? Because I can't really see like nerdy 80s teens gambling necessarily, but I could see it as a convenient front for a gambling operation. Combine these reported illnesses with FBI presence, sprinkle in some early internet rumor mongering, and voila, a legend is born. Cousin to a star is born. So, we keep saying it, but it deserves to be acknowledged that there is no verifiable evidence that Polybius ever existed as a real game. Thank you, Ruben. You've made that very clear that it is probably not a real thing. But I will say that the Polybius conspiracy, the podcast, does portray it like it could be something real, or it's very much the storytelling of it all. Like I said, the person that like gives the tours and whatnot, it's a good gripping story. And it really pulls at our innate need for stories and like how stories captivate us and draw us in. So I will say, if nothing else, it's a very good story. And I thought it was very fun. But you're right. If we are looking at it from a lens of science, because women in STEM, got it in there, and science is what we need to use as kind of a way to test truth. And if there is no verifiable evidence that Polybius ever existed as a real game, then you're right. We do have to acknowledge that several times so that it doesn't come across like we are biased about Polybius having existed, even though I kind of sort of am. You know what? I'll just pretend it did. However, the theories surrounding it have kept the legend alive for decades. Yes! Was Polybius a government experiment, a cursed game, or just a really well-crafted urban legend? Unfortunately, unless a long-lost arcade cabinet suddenly appears, we'll probably never know. Can you imagine? Oh my God. I want the cabinet to appear now. Let me put on my tinfoil hat real quick and just sit here twiddling my thumbs being like, yeah, and one day it's been said that the cabinet has been seen, but the government doesn't want us to see it. So it's locked in an attic, but one day the truth will come out. Yeah, it probably never existed. But you know what? What if it did come out one day that they were like, ooh, this cabinet, and we were able to like see what was in it, and it was this weird game. Even if it wasn't like, what if it was just literally a failed game that like did only have a debut in like one arcade, and it was just as simple as like geometric shapes and patterns that like, it just wasn't really a good game. So then they pulled it. That's a way less sexy theory for sure, but also potentially one. I just want it to be real. I'm trying to find ways for it to have existed. I don't know, maybe in another timeline. But the bigger question is, if given the chance, would you play it? I would play it for science, first of all, and specifically because I'm most interested about the subliminal messaging of it. You know what I mean? Like, I would play it just to see if I could see any flashes of like words or whatever on the screen, or if after playing it I felt any weird sensation or like dizziness spells and stuff. Although like if you do play a game for 28 freaking hours, good God, girl, get a grip, you're bound to probably have like a migraine, or like your body is bound to be like, girl, drink some water, have some food, you need to hydrate, like what are you doing? So yeah, that could just be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I think I'd play it. I would play it in the form of an escape room. Let's call it that. We need to keep the lore alive. We need to open up an escape room in Portland that's Polybius themed so that everyone knows about Polybius and what it is and what it was and what the lore is around it. And then they can experience lore themselves via the arcade, the escape room. But then obviously say like, this is just urban legend, blah, 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 legalese, blah, 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 blah. Which is funny because I'm going to law school. I'm starting law school in May. So I should care about the legalese. But in this case, we can just, brush it off. Kidding. All right. I loved that we finally covered Polybius. Let's get into the Pokepic for this episode. Since Polybius may have never existed, I think the Pokepic should be Missing No. Its glitch, whose very existence has been struck from the Pokedex and is a if you know kind of phenomenon. Shout out to 29 years of Pokemon Red and Blue. What? I don't know if I know this Pokemon. Missing No. What? If you know, you know. Am I even going to be able to find a photo? I hope so, but that's a great Pokepic. I do like that. It fits right into the lore. Like, does it exist or does it not? Can you believe what you've seen with your eyeballs? Or are your eyeballs deceiving you because your brain is just mush that is easily convinced of things? I don't know. That's a good Pokepic. I like that. And of course, our weekly reminder, we have an email, phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Feel free to engage with us, connect. I always try to respond to every comment. Our new follower, Bree, really, really appreciate you, Bree. Thank you so much for engaging in the comments. And she shared her personal phenomena in the comments of last week's video. So I'm super excited to be able to read hers out loud for the phenomena episode that we are going to have after the 10th episode next week. And then the start of season 2. Wow. Can you believe it? Season 1's already flown by. But yes, if you'd like to engage with us, we have a lot of different ways to engage. The phenomena.cases@gmail.com email. You can, of course, comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. You can join our Patreon. That would then give you access to our Discord, damn it, Discord. Every time I start saying Discord, I want to say discourse, because you have discourse on Discord. You know what I mean? But yeah, and we also have a Venmo, which I debuted in last week's episode. So all fun things. Oh my God, we're everywhere. Everywhere you look, we're just there. It's amazing. We're growing so fast. Oh my God, we have like 281 subscribers already, which is incredible. I cannot thank you. Doesn't even begin to describe how grateful I feel for each and every one of you for subscribing to our channel and continuing to support us. Every little thing really, really counts and matters. So thank you so much. I'm so happy. And I hope that these episodes are as fun for you as they are for us to create. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. And, good reminder, next week's episode is the finale of season 1. So you better tune in to that one. We're going to have a guest scriptwriter for that one as well. Ooh, it's going to be a fun one. Yeah. And what a way to send off season 1. That's crazy. We're already done with season 1, but I like the 10 episode cutoff because I feel like then we can just churn out more seasons. You know what I mean? Refine the craft. Return the slab. Anyway, and remember, you can explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Stay vigilant. Be safe out there, kids. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.